Hello everyone. Let us talk about language functions today. Why do we need language functions for EB exams? Now, EB exams test whether we can use English language appropriately in our workplaces. In our workplaces, we get to use English language to talk to, let's say, to our students, or else to talk to our principal, the president of the college. How do we use English language, the words, sentences, utterances appropriately? Now, this knowledge is tested in your EB exams to ensure you can handle official correspondence, interpersonal communication, and public service tasks effectively. What is a language function? Language functions are about what the speaker wants to do with the language. මොකද්ද කරන්න ඕන ලැන්ග්වේජ් එක පාවිච්චි කරලා කරන්න අවශ්‍ය වෙන කාර්ය. ඒක තමයි language function එකක් කියන්නේ. Let's look at an example. Making a suggestion. Now this is a language function. We can use English language in a way which tells that we are making a suggestion. We use English language, propose an idea or an action here. Why don't we try a different method? ඇයි අපි වෙන විදිහක් පාවිච්චි කරන්නේ නැත්තේ? Now let's explore this a little. With your students, if you want to tell them to try a different method, how can you use English language? Most probably, you might say this as a command. Try a different method. If you say like that, it is a command. Try a different method. But here you are making a suggestion by adding the other part to try a different method. Why don't we try a different method? You are making a suggestion here. You can say something like this to your colleagues. Let's look at another example. How about meeting after lunch? කෑමෙන් පස්සේ අපි හම්බ වෙන එක හොඳයිද වගේ එකක් තමයි අහන්නේ. How about meeting after lunch? It's a suggestion. Let's revise the plan. This is another way of making a suggestion. Let's revise the plan. We could use visuals to explain this. Another way of making a suggestion. Now, if you deliver this as a command, sometimes, let's say, you're observing a teaching practice and you want to tell your students to use visuals to explain things. There, if you tell that as a command, sometimes the students might get a little hurt. Use visuals to explain this. Instead of saying the same thing as a command, we can suggest that to them using words like this. We could use visuals to explain this. Or let's use the words which are there in the first example. Why don't we try a different method? Why don't you use visuals to explain this? Why don't you use visuals to explain this? Or we can use the words in the second example as well. How about using visuals to explain this? How about using visuals to explain this? Now, how can we use the language in the third example? Let's revise the plan. Let's use visuals to explain this. So, likewise, there are different ways of making suggestions when it comes to English language. I hope this is clear to you. So you need to learn language functions to answer your EB exam paper.